Hey, what's up everyone? It's Foster and we're working on my personal WRX tonight, and I am very excited because we're doing my favorite modification you can do to any car, and that of course is new wheels and tires. I cannot wait to put some track-oriented wheels on this WRX to get it ready for the event I've got coming up next weekend. It's gonna need some lightweight wheels and some sticky tires to be a good track car, so let me show you guys what I got in store. Look what finally showed up, you guys. I got my new wheels for the WRX. And I went with Enkei's because I wanted to stick with a Japanese wheel, and I think it's gonna look really good on this chassis. I already opened one up, but let's open another one up real quick and see how they look. I bet you guys can already guess what I went with, but keep in mind that we're building a car that's gonna be both capable on the track and on the streets, so having lightweight wheels is extremely important. These things are super well packaged too. I love the way that they come all protected. That way you're not worried about getting a damaged wheel. Woo, it looks so good. Let's see if we can do a little sneak peek here. I can show you guys what we're working with. The main reason why I chose the RPF1 is it comes in the perfect specs for the VA chassis, 18 by 9.5 with a plus 38 offset, so it's gonna sit nice and flush with the stock body. And the other main reason why I chose these wheels is they're extremely lightweight and strong, so they're gonna be very capable at the autocross or out at a track day. So you've seen the wheels that I chose, now let's talk about the tires that I went with. These are the Advan A052 tires, and I got them in a 245/40/18, and it gives a really nice meaty square fitment on this 18 by 9.5 inch wheel. I went with the Advan A052s because these are the king of the 200 treadwear tire category. They're the absolute fastest tires you can buy in that category in the dry, and they also have really good wet weather performance as well. I know a lot of teams actually run these in Pikes Peak, Hill Climb as their wet weather tires, so no matter if it's dry or wet, they're gonna be an awesome choice for a track tire for the WRX. So let's talk about some of the cons. Obviously, these are really expensive. You get what you pay for, and they also are gonna wear out really fast as well. They don't last incredibly long, but while they're grippy, they are really, really grippy. They almost give you borderline racing slicks level of grip, so I'm really excited to see how these feel on the WRX. Another thing about the A052s is they give their best lap times in the first couple laps, and then they do start to get a little bit greasy, so when I have the WRX out on track, I'll have to make sure I put down my laps early because these aren't gonna last the whole session. So while we've got both these wheels off the car, I figured we'd take a second and put them on the scale and see what the weight savings is. I can already tell you from taking the stock wheels off the car that they're a lot heavier than these new RPF1s are, but I want to find out exactly what the weight savings is going to be. Oh, jeez. All right. This is 47.5 pounds. Okay, now let's get the Enkei's on there and see how much they weigh. So the RPF1 is 41.8. Let's call it 41.5 for easy math. So that's about a 6-pound weight savings that you're gonna get per wheel with these RPF1s. Now, for those of you who know unsprung weight versus sprung weight, you know how much of a difference this is gonna make. There's a rough calculation of about 1 to 3 for unsprung weight to sprung weight. And what that means is the car has to work a lot harder to move the weight of unsprung weight than it does sprung weight, which is like if you have a passenger in the car. So if you multiply 6 by 3, that's 18 pounds, and if you multiply that by 4, that's 72 pounds. So by putting these lightweight RPF1s on my car, it's the equivalent of taking 72 pounds out of the WRX. And that's gonna affect how the car handles, how the car brakes, how the car accelerates, so it's actually gonna make a huge difference out on track. So say what you want about RPF1s being overplayed, these are gonna be some awesome track wheels. One more upgrade I did to the WRX is I got some new lug nuts as well. I figure if I'm upgrading the wheels, I might as well go all out and put some fresh looking lug nuts on there. And since the gold wheels are pretty flashy, I didn't want to go with anything too crazy, so I went with these black lug nuts here from Faction Fab. The main reason why I picked these, honestly, is because they're pretty cheap. They're like $65 for a full set. And they're gonna be awesome too because they fit with the stock wheels and these aftermarket wheels since they're a conical shape. So now I don't have to worry about changing lug nuts anymore. So now that we got it all complete, let's get the car in the ground and see how it all looks. All right, the car's back on the ground, you guys. Oh my gosh, these RPF1s look amazing. I love how aggressive they look on this chassis. They've got that nice deep dish. I really just think these are the perfect wheels for the track-inspired WRX. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of my new RPF1s. Do you think they're overplayed? Do you think I should have bought TE37s? Do you think I should have gone with a more original choice? I'd love to hear what you guys think, but I really like how this gold looks on the silver. I'm a huge fan of how this looks. But now let's talk about the problems. In the front, the fitment honestly doesn't look too bad. It looks like there's enough room where it's not gonna hit the fender. However, in the back, my ride height is too low, so I'm gonna have to raise it up because there's no room at all for these big meaty tires, and they're definitely gonna rub if I hit a bump. So that'll be a project for tomorrow. I was planning on taking this car home tonight. I thought I'd drive it home on the new wheels, but I wasn't anticipating the ride height to be off, and I might even potentially have to roll the fenders, who knows? So I'm gonna pick this project back up tomorrow, and I'll show you guys what we end up doing to make these RPF1s fit. So as you guys saw, I spent a little bit of time dialing the ride height in the rear to get it to match the fronts. I left it with a teeny bit of rake. That's kind of the way I want the car to sit. And so I'm pretty happy with how the wheels are fitting overall. I do, however, still have to get in alignment, and I do still have to change the lower control arms. If you guys remember, I've got a bent lower control arm. Let me get the car up in the air and show you what's going on. So some of you may remember in the video where I installed the rear sway bar, I actually found out that the rear driver's side lower control arm was completely bent. Look at that. So I want to get this changed out before I go to the track. Obviously, you shouldn't try and track your car with a bent lower control arm. It's not a good idea. The car is going to be unpredictable. So I'm going to get that changed out. I do have some adjustable ones, and the benefit of that is I'm also going to get some more camber adjustment as well, which is a good thing when you go to the track. Also, side note, it seems like every time I work on this car, there's just a pile of rust underneath of it. So I'm going to have to sweep this up. All right, so when I told you guys I ordered some arms for the WRX, I might have been exaggerating a little bit. They're actually the old arms off of Kevin's FRS. What do you have over here, Kevin?
RSR lower control arms. So these have been what I've been running on my FRS for about 2 years now.
Yeah, so the RSR lower control arms are actually really nice. They're really adjustable as well, so I'm not worried about getting the alignment dialed in where we need it. And then I actually think we might take his Megan toe arms as well. By the way, if you guys like the FRS, the BRZ, and you want to see some cool content on that, Kevin's got a YouTube channel. He competes in grid life and time attack with this FRS, and he's done a ton of mods to it. So definitely go check that out if you're interested. So as I mentioned, I'm going to be replacing the toe arms on the WRX as well, which is good because you can tell they obviously need to be changed out. The bushings are totally shot and they're rusty. So that's going to be really awesome to have the toe adjustment as well as the camber adjustment of the new lower control arms I'm getting from Kevin. So let's go ahead and get these out of the car. Well, not surprisingly, things have taken a turn for the worst, and this toe arm is completely seized in the subframe. So I'm gonna have to try and cut the eccentric bolt out of the bushing because they appear to be seized together. So wish me luck. We'll see if this does the trick.
Many hours later.
Well, things escalated really quickly on the WRX project, and I ran out of time to film, so I just had to go ahead and get it done. But as you saw, it went from just installing some lower control arms to installing some rear toe arms as well, which is awesome because Kevin gave me some free toe arms, but I had to cut the C's bolt out that was stuck holding the toe arm to the subframe. As you can see, these are my original toe arms, and they were just completely rusted out. These bushings were completely deteriorated, so I feel really good about getting those off the car. Check out that lower control arm as well. There's actually a crack in it, and it was about to snap, so I'm glad I didn't try and track on these arms. But now everything is buttoned back up and looking really good. As you can see, I've got the whole Skittles theme going with red and blue and green and yellow. I obviously didn't plan out the parts on this build, but I'm happy that I got a bunch of aftermarket arms. It's gonna make getting a custom alignment a lot better. I'll have way more adjustability. So I think the next step is to put this car on the ground and film an outro. I'm covered in rust and I'm ready to go home and take a shower. Well, I hope you guys liked that little montage of the new RPF1s on the WRX. I'm really excited that this thing is looking more and more like a track car, especially with all those adjustable arms too. This thing is gonna be completely dialed when I take it out to the track this weekend. So I can't wait to go give this thing a rip. I'm not gonna do my usual outro, but I do appreciate you guys watching this video. Make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe for more WRX content. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.